It's round 16 of the MotoGP World Championship, the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. First championship point for Fabio Quartararo as they power away and the lights go out. Jack Miller's getting the best start of them away from the front row of the grid, but he's going to allow pretty much his teammate to lead with Miguel Oliveira coming through and up into second place. A little twitch from Jack Miller as Luca Marini drops back steadily and slowly through the order. Fabio Quartararo has been very steady at the start of the race there and has lost a couple of positions already.
I was watching Quartararo, very hesitant into turn 2, dropped. I think he's lost a couple of places, like you say, Gav. He's going to have to wake up, because the problem is in MotoGP there's no slow riders and no slow motorcycles.
It's eat or be eaten, just like in the wild here in MotoGP. Jack Miller very hard on Miguel Oliveira down into turn 4, so he's up to second, and look at this. Marc Marquez fancies this one today with no dry track time. Had a good test here at Misano a couple of days after the last Grand Prix, and of course he's off the back of victory when we were in Austin a couple of weeks ago. Aleix Espargaro through on the KTM of Iker Lecuona, so that's Aleix up into 8th place. Quartararo has dropped back to 17th. There we can see on board with him on the left-hand side of your screens as Pecco Bagnaia streaks out at the front. And look how the gap would be if things were to stay the same. We'd be down to 28 points in the championship, and Quartararo would be worried. He just needs to ride sensible, and I think he said it over the weekend. I'm just not going to T-bone my teammate. I'll do what I can. And there might have been a situation, for example, if Bagnaia,
he's down Miller.
Yeah, and that's a heavy crash at turn 15. And you could just see there, he's just trying to do everything he could, wasn't he? And close every door. And that will probably mean he's not riding like he normally would, getting the heat into the left-hand side of the tyres like he would. And unfortunately, he crashes out at turn 15, which I have to say, for Jack Miller this season, that's the first time since Styria.
Yeah, we've seen so many riders crash there in all classes, to be honest. It's very difficult. What happens is you've got 6 right-hand corners, and this is the first left-hander after that. We talked about the track temperatures down 20 degrees from last time we were here.
Julian Simon on the right of Lynn Jarvis as Alex Rins tries to get it done this time, and Marini's trying to take
Luca Marini.
Full advantage, didn't he, on that occasion? I think Fabio's going to try and come through too, and you almost feel if Frankie Morbidelli sees that it is Quartararo, and he did, and he said, right, that's fair enough. And Quartararo's going to try and go through quickly on Marini too. Excellent, excellent couple of corners. Oh, hello, Luca.
The pass is done. No, it's not.
Brilliant.
And then the Ducati power, you see that then? Luca Marini gets no corner speed coming out onto that sort of back straight, and then manages to just accelerate away.
Zarco also came through. Morbidelli caught napping there on that occasion. That was the superior braking, not of the Yamaha, but Fabio Quartararo down into La Quercia corner to get back in front of Marini. Aleix Espargaro. And it was wide, wasn't it, from Espargaro? Yeah. He tried to cut it back. You do give yourself another chance to come back for a late apex there. The foot off, the footback though from Fabio Quartararo. The Aprilia just went past him.
And what we witnessed all through these sections are V4 versus inline 4. The inline 4 of the Yamaha and Suzuki there with Rins carrying a bit more corner speed.
Aleix going to get tight there between Alex and Aleix.
Aleix making more of a V out of the corner, that one onto the back straight, running in a bit deep. He had made a slight mistake, don't get me wrong, but he was then going to pull it back and fire out, which he did, and then managed to pass Fabio back. But then when it came to the corner speed of the fast corners, Fabio used that Yamaha natural turning and the corner speed of that inline 4. Wow, look at him there, bouncing into turn 1. Oh, that gap now, it's up to 0.4 of a second.
It was 0.6 through the last split there, Neil.
Yeah, you're right. Look at that. I think that's it.
That Marcus had a mistake there out of turn 15. That was another warning. Do you know what? However much we said it was win it or bin it, even from this distance, Mark's not going to make a move. Cross the line, 0.683 is the gap.
Marquez into 1. I've got a feeling that's where he's going to crash if he is, because you can see the front of that bike hopping and skipping, and Mark's fighting it as you'd expect, trying to make up time. I know exactly what it is. We've seen him through this part of the track. He's all right. He doesn't lose as much, but he gets on all those right-hand corners. The issue with the right-hand shoulder, and he just can't go through that section as fast as Pecco.
Pecco Bagnaia is a championship contender this year, but it might be a little bit too little too late. So going into next year, to have beaten Marc Marquez in 2 head-to-heads, feeling that Marquez is going to be in that mix for the championship next season, this is going to fill him with so much confidence going into the future.
Yeah, so much confidence, but I think we all know new Honda coming out next year, radical changes, it's needed it. We've talked about the Honda not being the best bike on the grid for quite some years now, so they tried some drastic changes at the test. Sounded like Marc Marquez liked it. He got on the new bike and said straight away, well, it's even at a starting point, it's equally as good as the thing I'm on at the moment. So I think we've got an exciting prospect for next year, because this man's going to be on fire. I think Marquez is going to be fully back, and we're going to have, who arguably we're guessing he's going to be the champion this year, Fabio Quartararo, with even more confidence, having won his first world title. Exciting prospect.
And who knows what Suzuki did.
Oh, Pecco's down!
That's Pecco Bagnaia crashing out of the race.
We have got a world champion.
Fabio Quartararo is the world champion in 2021, ladies and gentlemen. I do not believe it. In every single race we've had today, the championship has been turned on its head. Whatever happens now, if Fabio Quartararo tucks the front, it doesn't matter, because Pecco Bagnaia has thrown away the championship, and Quartararo is going to win it. Whatever happens, he's going to be the first ever French MotoGP World Champion. Look at that, the gap going up all the time, and Fabio knows it. With 4 laps remaining, Pecco Bagnaia has crashed out.
I cannot believe it. There is one thing in common. We've had 2 crashes on turn 15 today. Both riders, factory Ducatis. What else is the difference? Both riders had the hard front tyre in. All the other riders on the grid have gone for the medium. And the problem is Pecco, he knew he was at that tipping point. He was stretching that gap. Pushing, and everyone's been respectful through here. But what he does, he's not respectful that lap. He's on the right line, but he throws it in onto his knee, and as soon as his knee goes down, the front folds, just like we saw from Jack Miller. And the dream is over for another year. And the dream is realised. What it was, the gap had got up to 0.8 of a second, and he knew it was like the final lap to push a lot to break Marquez's spirit, and it was a slight lack of concentration. The temperature hadn't gone completely out the tyre, but what he did, he didn't respect turn 15.
Personal best lap of the race for Enea Bastianini, a 32.2. He's closed in by 4/10 on Quartararo, and he may well take the podium position away from the French rider, who I'm sure won't care. He'd love to do it with the podium. Pecco Bagnaia will be back to fight another day. Bet your bottom dollar on that one, because Bagnaia is a star in the making. He's a future champion. As we go on to the final couple of corners for this Emilia Romagna Grand Prix, will Fabio Quartararo be able to hang on from Bastianini? The attack's surely going to come down. I suppose he's going to get the drive out of here, and he might well have a go, but Quartararo won't mind. A few glistening, glassy eyes for Pecco Bagnaia. Oh, Quartararo's had a track limits warning. He didn't run off track on the last lap, did he?
No,
he's battling for position, and they will take your position away from you.
It's all about the next corner coming up, turn 14. Bastianini's surely going to dive to the inside. Here we go.
Oh,
he's going to dive for it. Oh, he's got it stopped.
I'll tell you what, Quartararo had a moment, didn't expect that to come, and almost touched Enea Bastianini. And Marc Marquez, even though his right arm has caused him so many problems over the year, he takes back-to-back wins.
Honda 1-2.
And it's a Honda 1-2 for the first time since 2019. Enea Bastianini is on the podium again here in Misano. But Fabio Quartararo, with 4th place, becomes the first French rider in history to win the MotoGP World Championship, with Valentino Rossi in his last ride on Italian soil up to 11th place and across for 10th across the line. He said a top 10 was possible, he's done it. But you feel with Quartararo winning on a Yamaha, the baton has been passed to the future in this sport. At 22 years of age, the same age Rossi was when he won his first championship, Fabio Quartararo is your MotoGP World Champion in 2021.